सवेरा, बसेरा। तुम हो आत्मा तन से न्यारे, परमात्मा को प्यारे, दिव्य गुणों को धारण करके योगी बनो दुलारे। ज्योति बिंदु ही तोड़ेगा ये माया मोह का घेरा। अंतर मन में ज्योति जगा लो, होगा दूर अंधेरा। ओम शांति, ओम शांति, ओम शांति।
मेरे दिल ने यही बात दिल से कही, मेरे दिल ने यही बात दिल से कही, मेरे दिल ने यही बात दिल से कही। एक बाबा मेरा दूसरा ना कोई, दूसरा ना कोई, मेरे दिल ने यही बात दिल से कही। दिल से कही। तुम ही तो मेरे मात पिता हो, तुम ही सखा मेरे बंधु हो, तुझसे सब संबंध है मेरे, तुम ही शिक्षक सद्गुरु हो, मेरे सद्गुरु हो। मेरे दिल ने यही बात दिल से कही। एक बाबा मेरा, दूसरा ना कोई, दूसरा ना कोई। मेरे दिल ने यही बात दिल से कही। याद प्यार हमें इतना देते, कुछ और याद न आता है। हम है शुक्र गुजार तुम्हारे, भाग्य पे मन इतराता है, इतराता है। मेरे दिल ने यही बात दिल से कही। एक बाबा मेरा, दूसरा ना कोई, दूसरा ना कोई। मेरे दिल ने यही बात दिल से कही। एक बाबा मेरा, दूसरा ना कोई, एक बाबा मेरा, दूसरा ना कोई, एक बाबा मेरा, दूसरा ना कोई, दूसरा ना कोई।
Om Shanti. Good morning. Our sisters, can you come and sit front? Thank you. Baba used to say sometimes they sulk and they sit somewhere far. The Murli which we heard 2 days ago was also about this topic, where Baba says, children, I had made you worthy, I had made you Sato Pradhan. However, what did you do gradually? You started getting influenced by Maya, by this body consciousness. Then the rest or the alloy gets accumulated in the soul. There is a needle. If it doesn't have the rust, then the magnet just pulls. When it has the rust covered, there cannot be that pull. Baba is the magnet. So we will be able to remember Baba only when we are clean or pure. Okay, we haven't become Sato Pradhan. However, Baba says the fundamental thing, that is purity. If this foundation becomes weak, then there will not be the remembrance of Baba. That stage will not allow us to remember Baba. That intellect just wanders here and there. So Baba says, when we are body conscious, we will not be able to remember Baba. So Baba draws our attention towards this aspect in today's Murli. After a long time, Baba remembers. the university. What's the effort which you are doing in order to become the elevated human beings? Baba has even spoken on that. Let's listen to Baba's elevated versions. And today's date is 13th September. The essence is, sweet children, first of all, have this concern. I, a soul, am covered in rust, and I have to think how to remove that rust from the soul. For as long as the needle is rusty, the magnet will not be able to attract it. Question: what effort do you children have to make at this most elevated confluence age in order to become the most elevated human beings? Answer: what's that effort which has to be made in order to become elevated human beings? What effort has to be made at the confluence age? Of course, the answer is easy. Of course, we make the effort to become the elevated beings. Which aspect has to be paid attention? Attention should be on what aspect? So the answer is, the effort is to become karmatit. Your intellects shouldn't be pulled by any karmic relationships. This means no karmic bondage should pull you. This is Baba's Sakar Murli. If you remember Abhyakt Murli's versions, where Baba had drawn our attention towards, where Baba speaks about going beyond the pull or the attraction of the service or service related points. For instance, when we sit in yoga, even the thoughts related to the service should not come in our mind. So Baba reminds us that our total connection should be with one Father. Your hearts shouldn't be attracted to anyone. Make such effort. Don't waste your time gossiping. Practice staying in remembrance. The song, Awaken, O brides, awaken, the new age is about to come. When Baba's songs were not composed, so these songs were being played, and early morning, this song used to be played, and at night where Baba says, you sweet princess, now sleep in Baba's remembrance. So Om Shanti, you spiritual children, you souls heard the song through your bodies. The Father is making you children soul conscious. You are receiving this knowledge of souls. Not a single person in the world has the true knowledge of souls. So how could they even have the knowledge of the Supreme Soul? Only the Father sits here and explains this. It has to be through a body that this is explained to you. A soul cannot do anything without this body. You souls know where you reside and whose children you are. You now know this accurately. All actors have a part. Your intellects know when the souls of different religions come here, the Father doesn't explain. Baba doesn't explain to you in detail. Baba just explains the essence or in wholesale. Wholesale means he gives you. Can Pravina sister respond? What does this term wholesale mean?
कविता दीदी क्या कह रहे हैं?
Can Kavita sister?
कुछ नई बात होगी।
Of course, there will be something new.
कविता में
Kavita sister, can you?
होलसेल अर्थात होलसेल का मीनिंग सुनिए।
Let's listen to this meaning of the term that is wholesale.
सेकंड में
So Baba says
ऐसी
the term wholesale means Baba gives you such an explanation in just a second that you know everything about how your parts are recorded from the beginning of the golden age to the end.
ठीक है, एक सेकंड में
So Baba just explains in a second.
अभी तुम जानते हो
You now know who the father is and what's his part in the drama.
ये भी जान
You also know that the Father is the highest on high. He is the bestower of salvation for all.
बात है सर्व का सद्गति दाता।
And He is the remover of sorrow and the bestower of happiness.
शिव जयंती
The birthday of Shiva is remembered.
जरूर कहेंगे।
It can definitely be said that the birthday of Shiva is the highest of all. It's especially in Bharat that people celebrate his birthday. In a country, stamps are made of those elevated people whose past history is good. Now, they celebrate the birth of Shiva. It should be explained whose birth is the most elevated and whose stamp should be created.
कोई साधु
They make stamps of sages and holy men and of Sikh, Muslim and English philosophers, just as they made a stamp of King Rana Pratap, etc.
प्रताप आदि की भी बनाते हैं। अब वास्तव में
In fact, there should be a stamp of the Father, who is the bestower of salvation for all.
इस
If the Father didn't come at this time, how could there be salvation?
कैसे हो? क्योंकि सब
Everyone is floundering in the extreme depths of hell. Baba says the condition of the world is in such a way that
गति कौन दे सकता है?
it has reached such a stage where no one can grant salvation to anyone. So Baba says, since the Baba is the bestower of salvation for all, Baba's stamp actually should be made. So Baba says,
तरफ रोने वाला आवाज है।
so the world's condition is, it has reached that stage where everyone is just
सबसे
is crying in the distress.
पतित पावन
So Baba comes at that time. The highest on high is Shiv Baba, the purifier. There are many temples to Shiva built in high places because he is the highest on high. The Father comes himself and makes you people of Bharat into the masters of heaven.
जब वो
He grants salvation when he comes.
गति करते हैं
Therefore, let there be remembrance of that Father. You should also think about what type of stamp to be created of Shiv Baba. On the path of devotion, they create a lingam as his image. He is the highest on high soul. The highest on high temple is considered to be that of Shiva.
जो बाबा की स्टैम्प निकली ये तो सबको पता है ना।
As all of you are aware that
स्टैम्प देखिए
Baba's stamp is also being introduced. Those who haven't seen, can you raise your hands? Of course, we have such children.
मधुबन में लगी हुई है कहीं पर।
It's displayed somewhere in this campus in the year 1994.
बाबा की स्टैम्प गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने
The government of India
प्रजापिता ब्रह्मा के नाम से निकाली।
had
इतनी बड़ी
introduced that stamp in the name of Prajapita Brahma.
पिता ब्रह्मा के नाम से।
So it's a great thing.
कम बात थोड़ी है।
It's not an ordinary thing.
स्टैम्प कभी भी निकलती है तो उसकी कमिटी होती है, फिलैटेलिक कमिटी।
There is a committee called Flatelic.
संपर्क करते थे
So when we used to approach them, they used to make fun.
वो हंसते थे, कहते हैं ये तो कोई सोशल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जो सोशल वर्क करते हैं उनकी निकलती है, सब ऐसे सुना, ये कैसे निकली?
So they were telling all the the organizations which deal with the social service, their stamps may be made, but since our aim was so clear, respected Brij Mohan brother was so determined, and how he just started approaching and how he just went through the process. And when our number came, there was this whole kind of a battle or the a conflict in the name of the religion or the dharma. So in that, Mohini Didi, that is who had passed, whose vogue was offered, and Brajmohan brother were there, and they explained to that soul very clearly that these are the points, because we were not allowed to enter. Because the committee, the entire committee on one side, and they were asking about what kind of social service does the organization deal with. And then these two souls gave that no other organization carries out the task that this organization does, because it's kind of rejuvenating or dealing with the upliftment of the soul. Committee had passed. At the time, this brother Sukuraj was there. Then they say that the artist also would be recommended by them. If you just take a look at the stamp, how Baba just inspired Brajmohan brother to get that done, where Shiva Baba's image is also there, Brahma Baba's image is also there, and along with that, and Om Shanti Bhavan's that symbol is also there. So Shiva Baba, then Brahma Baba, and the organization's image is also included in that. In Rashtrapati Bhavan, the stamp was released, and the program was such an amazing, and it was with a lot of grandeur, where all the VVIPs and eminent people were present in that gathering. Shankar Lal Sharma ji was the president. He had released that stamp, and that was the first stamp. There was a lot of opposition, of course. There was this black flag which was demolished. There was a lot of opposition, of course, but when she came, the officer used to receive a lot of facts about the situation of Mount Abu. There is a story which it takes some time to explain. We said to them that we will have a press release later in the government house. This P.C. Alexander was from Maharashtra, and he had raised the objection, and the Rashtrapati Bhavan was not allowed to do that. The secretary, I'm not ready to reveal her name or his name. The secretary just called the day previous to the launch at 8:30 p.m. and it was a winter time when we just rushed to Rashtrapati Bhavan, and the whole night we explained. Shankarlal Sharma ji actually didn't give us the appointment because he was very sure about the conversation which would go on. So we just informed him about the hurdles which were faced with regard to the launch of this stamp, and we took that appointment through MP. I think it was GM Luda.
द्वारा अपॉइंटमेंट लिया और गुलजार दादी को लेकर
And we took respected Gulzar Dadi ji and we went there.
दादी ने बड़े प्यार से उनसे बात
And Dadi Gulzar ji spoke with a lot of love to them, saying that it has to happen through your divine hands. And there was some misunderstanding, and he just accepted. And Gulzar Dadi's personality had that
इतने धूमधाम से सभी राजभवनों में जो है
had that power or grace.
सेलिब्रेशन उसको रिलीज शब्द नहीं दिया
So they didn't use the word that is release. Of course, then the celebration happened. Then later, Janki Dadi ji's stamp was released.
जबरदस्त चीज थी
Of course, that was also one of the fantastic things. Then Dadi Prakashmani ji,
सबने देखी होंगी नहीं देखी तो जरूर
who haven't seen, just go and see. This Bakshu brother has.
नहीं है तो आप मंगा के रखना सबको दिखाओ बाबा कहते हैं ले भी सकते हैं और वो पोस्टेज स्टैंप है जो आप लगा करके उसकी पोस्ट में भेज भी सकते हैं
You can even use the stamp.
कहते हैं
So Baba says,
राणा प्रताप ने भी लड़ाई की वो तो
so
इस समय तो सब है डबल हिंसक विकार में जाना काम कटारी चलाना ये भी हिंसा है
So they made a stamp of King Rana Pratap, etc. In fact, there should be a stamp of the Father, who is the bestower of salvation for all. If the Father didn't come at that time, how could there be salvation? Everyone is floundering in the extreme depths of hell. The highest on high is Shiv Baba. There are many temples of Shiva built in high places because he is the highest on high. The Father comes himself and makes you people of Bharat into the masters of heaven. He grants salvation when he comes. Therefore, let there be the remembrance of the Father. You should think what type of stamp to be created of Shiv Baba. On the path of devotion, they create a lingam as his image. He is the highest on high soul. The highest on high temple is considered to be that of Shiva. The Somnath, that is the Lord of Nectar, is the temple to Shiva. Because people of Bharat are Tamo Pradhan, they don't know who Shiva is. They don't even know the occupation of the one they worship. King Rana Pratap fought battles. That was a violent act. At this time, all are doubly violent. To indulge in vice, to use the sword of lust is also violence. It is Lakshmi and Narayan who are doubly non-violent. If people had this full knowledge, they could create stamps that are meaningful.
अभी तुम बच्चों को बाप समझाते हैं
In the golden age, they have stamps of only Lakshmi and Narayan. They don't have the knowledge of Shiv Baba. Therefore, stamps would be definitely be those of the most elevated Lakshmi and Narayan. Even now, there should be that the same stamp of Bharat, the highest on high is Trimurti Shiva. His stamp should remain eternally because he gives the imperishable throne of the kingdom of Bharat. The Supreme Father, Supreme Soul makes Bharat into heaven. Among you two, there are many who forget Baba is making us into the masters of heaven. Maya makes you forget this. Because of not knowing the Father, the people of Bharat have been making many mistakes. No one knows what Shiv Baba does. They don't even understand the meaning of Shiv Jayanti. No one except the Father has this knowledge. The Father is telling you children, have mercy for others as well as for yourselves. The teacher is teaching you, this is his mercy for you. That one says, I am the teacher and I am teaching you. In fact, this place shouldn't be called a place of study because it's a very big university. All the rest have false names. None of those colleges are for the whole university, whole universe. And there is a incident which is related to this. Even our university's name was included in the fake list, and And there was a letter.
MC छागला
MC Chagla,
देश के एजुकेशन मिनिस्टर होते थे.
he was the education
वो
minister.
जगदीश भाई के पास उनका पत्र था जो थोड़ा
And Jagdish brother, he had a letter which was quite favorable. Based on that letter, we started working.
वहाँ पर फाइनल कराया कि आप विश्वविद्यालय
Then we started approaching them and we
भाई साहब ने
said
विजन भाई थे.
to use this term, that is
अच्छा
university.
करने को तैयार है.
And Brujmon brother said we were ready to change.
इतना लिटरेचर हमारा
All the literature, all the centers' names could be changed, but will you bear the cost?
देंगे, हम चेंज करेंगे, आप पैसा देंगे, हम सारा चेंज कर देंगे.
We are ready to change, but will you just,
हमारे पास इतना पैसा है क्या?
and do you think we have that much funds to take up that project? And we had enough arguments there also. At last they agreed that it is a world's university.
हमारे साई कुमार जी थे, एडवोकेट आज भी हैं.
We had this advocate Sai Kumar ji and he had represented that.
बाबा कहते हैं
So Baba says, this is a big university, all the rest have false names. None of those colleges are for the whole universe. Only this university is of the Father who grants salvation to the whole world. In fact, there is only this university. It's through this that everyone passes into liberation and liberation in life. That is, they attain peace and happiness.
राज्य
This is the universe.
तीन चीजें, धर्म
And that's why Baba says, don't be scared. There is something which has to be explained. So this generally happens when that no one listens to anyone during an emergency. It's the rule of the people by the people. In no other religion do they have a kingdom from the start. And the fantastic quality of Baba that he establishes the kingdom
श्री कृष्ण
and he gets that religion
फिर
created.
एक लाइन में से बाबा कहते हैं यहाँ तो बाप राजा ही स्थापन कर रहे हैं यूनिवर्स के लिए.
So Baba is creating a kingdom for the universe. Those people simply come to establish their religions
उत्तम संगम युग पर
and they rule their kingdom where hundreds of thousands of their own people come.
कृष्ण श्री नारायण श्री
Baba is establishing a kingdom for the whole universe. This is something to be explained. He is establishing the deity kingdom at this most elevated confluence age, and Baba has explained to you that you can hold the dark blue pictures of Sri Krishna, Sri Narayan and Sri Rama in your hands and explain why Sri Krishna is called Sham and Sundar. He was so beautiful. How did he become ugly? Bharat was heaven, now it's hell. Hell means ugly, heaven means beautiful. So the kingdom of Rama is called the day and the kingdom of Ravan is called the night. So you can explain to them why the deities have been portrayed as dark blue. The father sits here and explains that you are now at the most auspicious confluence age where others aren't. You are now sitting here at the confluence age, are making effort to become the most elevated. You have no connection with the vicious, impure human beings. You haven't reached your karmatit stage, and this is why your hearts become attached to the karmic relationships. In order to become karmatit, you need the pilgrimage of remembrance. The Father says, you are souls and you should have so much love for the Supreme Father.
बाप के साथ कितना लव होना चाहिए.
Oh, Baba is teaching us.
वह हमको पढ़ाते हैं. वो उमंग
No one has that enthusiasm.
को भी बाबा क्या,
Baba tells the fact.
वो नशा
Baba tells that intoxication, that happiness that God is teaching us.
वो नशा.
Baba says that's not visible.
बचपन याद करो अपना.
Just recall your childhood days
प्रिंसिपल पढ़ाने आते
when principal used to come and take the class. So we had that intoxication and we were very happy that a principal had come to teach us. So here God himself comes and teaches us. So how much intoxication we should have. However, Maya repeatedly makes your body conscious. Since you understand that Shiv Baba is talking to you souls, there should be that attraction and happiness. Baba says, a needle that doesn't have the slightest rust will quickly be attracted to a magnet.
तो फट से चटक जाएगा.
If there is even a little rust, the needle won't be pulled. There won't be that attraction. A magnet will pull a needle where there isn't any rust.
सुई होती है ना, जिस
There is a needle, right?
साफ होती है,
Whichever side is very clean and it doesn't have rust, that side gets pulled. So you children can only have that attraction when you stay on the pilgrimage of remembrance. If there is any rust, the needle cannot be pulled. Each of you needles can understand you will be attracted when you become completely pure. There isn't that pull because you souls have that rust. When you stay in remembrance a great deal, your sins can be burnt away. Acha, if someone commits sin now, he accumulates 100-fold punishment and the soul becomes rusty. And the soul will then unable to remember the Father. Consider yourselves to be souls and remember the Father. And the souls, when souls forget to have remembrance, they become rusty, and that's why there isn't that pull or love. Once that rust is removed, there will be love and happiness too. Your faces will remain cheerful. You have to become like them in the future. If you don't do service, what does Baba say? Just listen. If you don't do service, continue talk about all the old rotten things of the past.
कुछ तो करेंगे ना,
If we don't do service, we will get occupied in something else, right? So Baba says, if we do discussion of other things, that breaks our intellect's yoga away from the Father. Any sparkle that might have been there, that also disappears. There isn't the slightest love for the Father. Only those who have very good remembrance of the Father would have love for him. The Father is also attracted to such a child. This child does very good service and stays in yoga. So the Father showers that child with love. Such a child would pay attention to himself to make sure that he doesn't commit any sin. If you don't remember the Father, how can the rust be removed? The Father says, keep your chart so that the rust can be removed. If you want to become Sato Pradhan from Tamo Pradhan, you will have to remove the rust. Some rust is removed and then the souls become rusty again because there is 100-fold punishment. When you don't remember the Father, you commit one sin or another sin. The Father says, unless the rust is removed, you will not be able to come to me. There will have to be punishment. Souls experience the slipper and their status gets destroyed. What inheritance would you receive from the Father then?
मोचरा किसको बोलते हैं पता है ना? किसको? हाँ, जूता। बाबा कहते हैं बच्चे को मारो जोर से और फिर उसको कैडबरी हाथ
Baba just explains this incident. You just slap the child and gives the Cadbury. The child just throws that Cadbury chocolate. So Baba says, on one hand, Baba gives punishment. On the other hand, if he offers that crown or throne, then it doesn't seem or look good. So Baba says, don't perform any such acts that make your souls even more rusty. First of all, be concerned about removing the rust from yourself. If you don't think about this, the Father understands that it's not in your fortune. You must have that qualification. One has to have a good character. The characters of Lakshmi and Narayan are remembered. People of today speak of their own characters in the front of Lakshmi and Narayan idols. They don't know Shiv Baba at all. They just sing the praise of Lakshmi and Narayan and they speak about themselves that I am the fool. No one tells. If someone says, then you all know what happens. But the soul himself goes and describes himself in front of Lakshmi and Narayan. So they don't know Shiv Baba at all. Only he grants salvation. They go to the sannyasis, but the bestower of salvation for all is only one. The Father establishes heaven, then you have to go down. No one but the Father can purify you. Sannyasis make a small trench and sit in that. If they go If they went into the Ganges instead, they would become cleansed because they consider the Ganges to be the purifier.
लेते हैं अपन को बाबा कहते हैं मनुष्य शांति चाहते हैं
People want peace, but their parts will only finish at the end when they go home. The home of us souls is the land beyond sound. How can there be peace here?
यहाँ शांति कहाँ से आई तपस्या कर
People do tapasya, they have to act, don't they?
शांत में बैठ जाएंगे शिव
They do that and sit in silence. They don't know Shiva Baba at all. All of that belongs to the path of devotion. It's only at this most elevated confluence age that Father comes
आत्मा स्वच्छ
here. Souls become clean and then they go into the liberation and liberation in life. Those who make effort will then rule. Those who don't make any effort will experience punishment. In the beginning, you were given visions of punishment. At the end, too, you will have visions. So you will see,
यज्ञ स्थापना
because during the initial time of the creation of the sacrificial fire that was in Sindh, Hyderabad, the tapasya of 14 years which went there,
पाठ साक्षात्कार के द्वारा स्पष्ट किए
Baba had given clarity of different things through visions, how the coronation takes place and how the emperor or the empress comes or rules, then how the punishment, how you would experience punishment. Here, Mohini Didi,
दादी जी के साथ
the Mohini Didi who used to stay with Dadiji,
आत्मा ने मम्मा का डिसरिगार्ड किया
how a soul just, she was a trans messenger or a messenger of Mama. Mama told that soul to get the message.
कल जब वो बाबा के पास गई
Tomorrow will get the message. When she went in trance, Baba gave drishti like that. There was that stain on her hand which just indicated that you have disregarded Mama. These are very subtle things.
इसलिए बाबा कहते हैं बहुत संभल के चलना
You have to be very careful while moving along.
अच्छा साक्षात्कार भी कराया
So, at the end too, you will have visions.
कराया था सजाओं का फिर पिछाड़ी में
You will see how you didn't follow Srimat and what your condition has become.
मत पर न चले तब ये हाल हुआ है बच्चों को
You children have to become benefactors. Give the introduction of the Father and creation. When a needle is soaked in a paraffin, the rust is removed. So the rest is removed from the souls too by staying in the remembrance of the Father. Otherwise, it means there is no attraction or the love for the Father. All the love is diverted to friends and relatives, etc. Baba says, people go and stay with their friends and relatives. There is such a vast difference between the company of those who are rusty and the company you have here.
खाई हुई चीज के संग में उनको भी कट चढ़ गया
Baba says, by keeping the company of anyone rusty, you become rusty yourself. The Father comes simply to remove the rust. It's only by having the remembrance of Him that you will become pure. You souls have been covered with a lot of rust for half a cycle. The Father, the magnet, says, now remember me. The more yoga your intellects have with me, the more the rust on your souls will accordingly be removed. The new world has to be created. First, there is a very small tree of the deities in the golden age. Then it grows larger. Then they come to you here and continue to make effort. No one of your kingdom comes from up above.
ऊपर से कोई नहीं आती है
Those of other religions come from up above. Your kingdom is being established here.
विशेषता
This is the speciality of Baba's creation. The souls who belong to the deity religion are gathered at this time.
आने के बाद
All other religious founders, they first come, they create the religion, then the followers come from up above.
राजधानी तैयार हो
So Baba says, your kingdom is being established here. Everything depends on how you study. Everything depends on how much you follow the Father's Srimad. When your intellect's yoga is diverted outside, your souls become rusty. Before coming here, they have settled all their karmic accounts and die alive and settled everything.
कुछ खत्म करके आते हैं।
Sannyasis renounce everything and yet they remember everything for such a long time afterwards.
याद आता रहता है। बाबा के जब बाबा के पास आ गए,
When we have come to Baba, when we became Baba's children,
कर्म संबंधी क्यों याद?
why should we remember the bodily beings or the karmic bondages? So Baba gives this example that sannyasis just renounce and they start recalling or remembering their physical friends and relatives. So you children now know that you have received the company of the truth. Tell them we stay in the remembrance of the Father. We do acknowledge our friends and relatives. We live at home with our families, do everything. Then remember the Father. You have to become pure and also teach others.
फिर तकदीर
Then if it is in their fortune, they continue to follow this path. If they don't belong to the Brahman clan, how could they go into the deity clan?
बहुत सहज
You are given very easy points which can instantly sit in someone's intellect. The picture of those with intellects that have no love at the time of destruction is very clear.
अब वो sovereignty
You no longer have that sovereignty. When there was this deity sovereignty that was called heaven, however, there is now the rule of the people by the people. There is nothing wrong in explaining these things. However, it's only when your rust is removed the arrow can strike someone.
कट निकालने की
First of all, make effort to remove the rust. You will have to check your character and see what are you doing day and night.
रात दिन हम क्या करते हैं?
While cooking and making chapatis in the kitchen, stay in the remembrance as much as possible.
जितना हो सके याद में रहो।
When you go on a tour, stay in remembrance. The Father knows everyone's stage.
सबकी अवस्था को जानते हैं।
When your souls gossip, you become even more rusty. That's why Baba tells, don't listen to gossip.
पर चिंतन की कोई बात नहीं सुनो। हम दुनिया में तो कर रहे हैं नशा मुक्ति अभियान,
We are having this campaign which is about say no to drugs.
यही कार्यक्रम चल रहा
And this program is from 17th
है। उनको हम कहते
till 21st September. And we tell them say no to drugs and what can we say to ourselves? We can say no to thinking about others or seeing others. We don't have the potential or the energy to think or look at others. We should not make our minds polluted.
नीचे नीचे
So, Acha to you, sweetest, beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, father, and Bap Dada. The spiritual father says Namaste to you, spiritual children, and we spiritual children also offer love, remembrance, and say good morning, Namaste to the mother, father, and Bap Dada. The essence for dharana, the first one, just as the Father, in the form of the teacher, teaches you, has mercy for everyone, in the same way, have mercy for yourself and others. Pay full attention to studying and following Srimad. Reform your character.
अपनी कैरेक्टर सुधारने।
Second one, don't
आपस में कोई
break your intellect's yoga away from the Father by gossiping among yourselves about useless and rotten things of the past. Don't perform any sinful acts. Stay in remembrance and remove the rust.
याद में रहकर संत उतार।
Blessing. May you have the determination to cultivate fruit on infertile land and become an embodiment of success.
फलता स्वरूप था। कल राठी भूमि हो उसमें भी फल पैदा करें। क्या जबरदस्त वरदान है।
What an incredible blessing. In any situation, in order to become an embodiment of success, you need to have a gathering of determination and love. This determination enables fruit to be cultivated on infertile land. Just as scientists try to grow fruit in sand, in the same way, you give the water of love with your power of silence and become fruitful.
की शक्ति द्वारा स्नेह का पानी देते हुए फलीभूत बनो। दृढ़ता द्वारा
By having determination, you can ignite the lamp of hope in those who are disheartened, because when you have courage, you receive the Father's help.
मदद मिल जाए।
Slogan: constantly continue to move along while considering yourself to be God's valuable property. There will be spirituality in your actions.
प्रभु की अमानत समझ के चलो तो
When we consider ourselves to be the God's valuable properties, then the spirituality becomes visible in our actions. Today's Avyakt signal: ignite the fire of love and make your yoga volcanic. To be a charioteer means to be soul conscious, because each soul is a charioteer. Brahma Baba became number one by practicing this and achieving success. Therefore, follow the Father. The Father enters a body and controls it. That's it. He becomes a charioteer. He doesn't depend on this body, and this is why he remains loving and detached. In the same way, all of you Brahmin souls should maintain the stage of a charioteer like that the Father. When you are a charioteer of your body, you naturally become a detached observer and remain immune to any effect of Maya in whatever you see, you do, and hear. These are the sweet versions of Baba. And what's the Murli about? We have to focus on removing the rest. The essence is to remove the rest. There shouldn't be even the slightest trace of that.
पर चिंतन नहीं।
And say no to thinking or looking at others or gossiping.
जैन जैन
We just say in a very funny way that jam, it means gossiping or Om Shanti. The conference of the scientists, engineers and architects wing, which started yesterday. All the guides and teachers who have got their guests and delegates are requested to come to conference hall to get the godly gift. The evening meditation from 6 to 8 p.m. will be in the conference hall.
आज सुबह 9:30 बजे डायमंड हॉल में शिवानी बहन जी का सेशन है।
There is a session by Sister Shivani. It starts at 9:30 a.m. Whoever is interested can go.
पीछे जाकर के बैठेंगे जिसको भी सुनना है। डायमंड हॉल में बहनों की तरफ गेट नंबर 14 के पास एग्जीबिशन एक्सपो 3E।
There is exhibition, its name is Expo 3E, which is organized. We do require some guides
शांति बीके कॉलोनी वालों के ध्यान
to explain.
गोडलीवुड स्टूडियो के एग्जीक्यूटिव डायरेक्टर भ्राता हरिलाल भाई जी की माता जी के निमित्त कल भोग है। तो
Tomorrow's bhog is on behalf of Harilal brother's mother, and let's remember Baba for 3 minutes.
प्यारे बाबा तेरी राहों पर चला करे, हम चला करे, सद्गुण से हम संवार जीवन हो, सद्गुण से हम संवार जीवन और सभी का भला करे। प्यारे बाबा तेरी राहों पर हमें दिखाई है।
योग में परमानंद की मस्ती तुमसे हमने पाई है।
तुमसे हमने पाई है।
दिल कहता पल भर ना भूले, दिल कहता पल भर ना भूले, इन पलकों में पला करे।
प्यारे बाबा तेरी राहों पर
त्याग तपस्या सेवा का जो हमको लक्ष्य महान दिया,
हमको लक्ष्य महान दिया।
बेहद जग कल्याण भावना हमने अमृत पान किया।
हमने अमृत पान किया।
महातिमिर में तूफानों में महातिमिर में तूफानों में परम ज्योति बन जला करे।
प्यारे बाबा तेरी राहों पर चला करे, हम चला करे। सद्गुण से हम सवारी जीवन और सभी का भला करे।
प्यारे बाबा तेरी राहों पर।
Let's listen to the teachings of respected Dadi Prakash Mani ji. Check and ask yourselves, am I a conqueror of attachment and truly soul conscious? It shouldn't be that still I have some attachment, 10% or 50% or even subtle form of in any relationship between you and me. So you died, the world is dead for you. So what's for attachment? That's why all the Laukik relationships are ours. In the same way, all the spiritual relationships are also ours. There is no one to whom we can say they are not ours, all are ours. We have deep love for all of you, there is no doubt about it. But at the same time, there is no attachment to anyone. Everyone loves one another. It's a river of love, pure love without attachment. Attachment says mine, mine, while love says yours, yours. Om Shanti.